One day, Thomas was heading down an Knapford station in the wintry season. It's good that you're wearing your snowball this time, Thomas. Thomas agreed on this, remembering the time he was going down his branch line and went through a tunnel, thinking how clever he was, but got stuck in a snowbank due to not wearing a snowplow. But as he went to the Knapford station, he heard a faint puffing sound in the distance. And soon, ran 9462 into Knapford station. Oh, hello, Thomas. Remember me? Not really, Thomas thought. Well, that's because you may not have seen me that much when the railway was in its early years. I was one of the first engines loaned on the railway, but I was soon sent back for being naughty. But here I am now, put on trial. The thing that 9462 mentioned made Thomas get a bit of flashbacks when he was the railways in his early years. He saw him a couple times, but that was because he was the station pilot back then. Say, after all the years I've been at the VR, I've seen a couple of people with some merchandise of you, and I've also seen a couple of videos about your fan base. However, I don't know if there's much of me in that fan base. I mean, all I am is pretty much a killer that tries to blow up Knapford sheds or something like that. Well, don't get too salty. At least you have those B16 figurines. That is your basis, right? Thomas said nervously. Well, I guess you're right. But enough of that. I have to go on a freight train soon. See ya, he said as he left the station. See ya, Thomas said. What a nice engine. Maybe he has changed his ways. But he didn't know for sure. As I went down the line, Eddie and Clara began to feel a bit suspicious. Thomas, don't you feel a bit suspicious of 9462? Not really. Why? Well, when he saw you at Knapford Station, don't you think he was talking to you a bit weird, almost suspiciously? Well, not really. I think he was happy just to see me again after all those years of him being on the railway. After all, he does have some merchandise, the B16 model trains. Annie and Clara whispered to each other as Thomas continued to go down the branch line. You know what, Thomas? Keep us in the siding, so that way we'll be able to keep an eye out on him. Alright, Thomas said. Thomas? Yes, sir? You are to pull a freight train in a few minutes. You just shunt it, and then just pull it down the line. It's as simple as that. Fan base. My big fan base. I've been in it, but I'm pretty much a killer. Oh, hello you two. You must be Thomas's coaches. Yes, we are. But we have a question. Why did you talk to Thomas that way at Knapford Station? What do you mean by that way? I was just happy to see him again after all of those years being on the VR. Gentleman did decide to put me on a trial every way. Well, after that, we have been suspecting of you of being suspicious, or acting suspicious. Why do you accuse me of being suspicious? I just had a happy little talk with Thomas. But I may have thought him a bit weird. But that may be just my personality. mention all of the things that I have done to this railway in the past. Well, freight train's almost set up. Wait a minute. I hear something. We're meeting. Let me do this perfectly. Hey, wait a minute. You know what? Let's say we go for a stroll down the line. Yeah, what's going on over here? Wait, 9462? Hey, what are you doing with my couches? Crap, Jesus, let's go. You get back in with my couches. Face it, Thomas, I'm just a little faster than you, and you can't catch up. Only with a cat dragged in. What are you chasing me for? What makes you think that you can just steal my couches after them accusing you of being suspicious? I wasn't. I was just having a little talk with you. I'll show him. 9462 hit a bump on the line, causing him to go at low speeds. Change the points! Someone is staring at my couches! Oh, you stopped. Bad decision. Because if you stop, then you won't have enough speed to... No, wait. Stop! Ow! Thomas, though I should have known. Why did you crash me into this siding? No one steals my coaches, and no one gets away with it either. Well, as you told me earlier, your coaches accused me of being suspicious, and so I stole them because they accused me of being suspicious, when in reality, I had a nice little talk with you about your fan base and merchandise. Well, that doesn't stop the fact that we heard you talking to Thomas a bit weirdly at Knapford when he saw you again. I heard talking when I was shunting my freight train, and I was wondering who it was. I did see something blue next to my coaches. Just then, Sir Elton Pat came up to the argument. Well, 9462, I agreed to put you on trial, and I turn my back on you for a few minutes, and then you do this. I have thought of the things that you have done in the past, and thought that you may have changed your ways, but instead, you still top us the coaches, after acting suspicious towards them. You know what? After the trouble you've caused this railway throughout the years, I think your judges might have to scrap you. You, sir, would dare! Well, I may dare, 9462. I may dare. I might just have to after all of the trouble you've caused throughout this railway. And 9462 had learned his lesson. So the lesson for today, don't get too jealous over something, or else it might go to your head and you may end up in a bad situation.